Sorry I kept you waiting forever and a day. But now we're out here together with nothing standing in our way. Can you feel the attraction? Feel the attraction. Can you feel it between us? This energy's inside us like electricity. Feel the love running through like electricity. Feel the love running through like electricity. Like electricity. Taking over your body, it's flowing through your mind. This feeling's got me on fire. Don't ever leave it all behind. Can you feel the attraction? Feel the attraction. Can you feel it between us? This energy's inside us like electricity. Feel the love running through like electricity. Feel the love. Can you feel me? Ooh, can you feel me?
I'm walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul.
I fell and lost to the war, shot me dead. I was lost and I said to the voices in my head, I gotta get up again. I gotta get up to another day. I'm not giving up again. I gotta get up. I gotta get up. Giving up again. I gotta get up. I gotta get up. I gotta get up Look into my eyes. My heart beats like a drum. You listen to my lies. Love is far to come. Your love is far. Running at the speed of light, kissing under city lights. Calls me in this morning time, but it just goes on. Running at the speed of light, kissing under city lights. Calls me in this morning time, but it just goes on. Gotta get up again. I gotta get up to another day. I'm not giving up again. I gotta get up. I gotta get up. I gotta get
What's going on, traders? How are we doing today? It's Saturday. What's going on? Who do we got in the chat today? Jay-licious, Rita, Deb. Welcome, Deb. Also, we got Mr. Tony Stark, Terp Center, Dabdo. How you doing? Iced Out. What's going on, guys? We got Ice8819. How we doing? Surf Dog, Candlestick. Always rocking with the 2 months. Let's go. Woo! Favorite alarm? The cheesy countdown alarm I have. Ready to learn? Me too. So today we're bringing on Dr. Bullshark. I have his Twitter up on the screen. Alrighty. If you guys would like to hit him with the follow, if you're not, very knowledgeable trader. Also, marine biologist. How cool is that? What's going on, Derpity Dip? Looking for more edumacation? Always looking for more. All right, traders, without any further ado, is ado a word? I'm going to bring on Dr. Bullshark. Alrighty, let me just turn down and pause the music. Thank you, Mr. Angel Guy. Appreciate it. Doing great. Doing good work out here. All right. Adieu, not adieu. Okay, well. What can we really do? Yo, Mr. Bullshark, how are we doing today?
Yo, what's up, 100?
Not much,
What's
man.
going on, man?
Oh, not much, not much. How's your Saturday?
Just woke up. It's 10 a.m., you know? on the
Oh,
West
yeah,
Coast.
that's right. That's right, because the time
Yep,
difference.
Yeah,
Okay,
man.
gotcha.
How's it going with you? How's everything?
No, good, man. No issues. I'm back on nights tonight, so I'll be working this evening and tomorrow evening, but yeah. Any plans for your
Dude, what
weekend?
happened? I heard there was like an attack the other day. Or,
Oh,
like, you
bro.
had to lock yourself in.
Yeah, that was crazy, dude. I was just like doing my rounds outside, and like there's not really any cover there, and there's like a forest behind like the fence that is at the end of our property, and just from right behind that fence, man, I just heard a loud gunshot, and then I kind of froze. I was like, "What the hell?" And I was wearing like high vis and blasting music.
Oh my
So
God.
I like paused the music. I took off the high vis and I kind of waited, and then I heard it again. I was like, "Holy fuck!" So I got out of there. So we don't have guns in Canada, so I don't really have any way to defend myself.
Interesting. That's wild, bro.
Isn't that crazy, dude?
Yeah, but they had a gun.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway,
Good logic.
yeah. But yeah. Any plans for the weekend? Are you treating yourself this weekend, or just keeping it low, or?
Just this weekend, I'm just chilling, keeping it low key, spending time with the family.
Good, man. Good.
Working
Yeah.
on the charts.
So let's kind of get into things. I wanted to start things off just by like talking a bit about how you found trading. Maybe you can talk about being a marine biologist and all that stuff. So how did you find trading, and what was your first kind of take on it?
Cool, for sure. So, when I was 18, I was living in LA and I moved out to Santa Cruz, California. I went to school there at UC Santa Cruz. I studied marine biology and environmental science. So I really, really love the ocean. That's why I'm the bull shark.
Yeah.
I worked in a lab. I worked for National Oceanographic and Atmospheric Administration for quite a while. I was working there, research lab doing studies. Classic, but yeah, obviously school is expensive. Research jobs, if you know, they really don't pay much, especially when you're at an undergraduate level.
Okay.
So I had to kind of figure out a way to, make some extra money on the side. But when I just started trading, I wasn't trading at all. I was just investing. I was buying all the FANG stocks, Facebook, Amazon, all that stuff that they tell you to buy, just to grow your portfolio. So I had a little extra money on the side, put it in that. And then it was about 2017, I started trading cryptos. So that's how I really got into the trading game.
Okay, interesting.
So yeah, I was one of the OG Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin type investors. And I sold most of it 2017, 2018, but I had some Dogecoin left over. Dogecoin went up quite a bit, sold it. That was my entire extent of crypto pretty much. But I wasn't too sustainable, right?
Yeah.
So I said I need something that I can trade every day and make a steady income. So for me that was trading. But when just started trading, I was losing quite a bit of money
Mm-hmm.
because I didn't really figure out what was going on. And I told myself, dude, I'm done losing money. I'm trying to do this to make money. What's the point of doing this if I can't make money? And then I realized that it's not something that you're doing right or wrong, but it's about how bad you want something. And amount of effort you're willing to put in just to get that one thing, right? So trading and investing without a setup, it's random. Any win can be random, you know?
Yeah,
I have
yeah.
a hunch that this thing is gonna go up, or I have a hunch that this thing is gonna go down. But when you start becoming a trader, a real trader, you realize, hey, I'm not gonna trade off a hunch. I need to develop a system that's gonna work for me, that I can repeat every day, right?
Yep.
And win or lose, I know that I'm using system. And developing that system, yes, it is gonna take some time. It is gonna take some spending money, quote unquote, losing money. But that's why you have paper trading. You can go and test your strategy on a paper trading account, right? So you
Mm-hmm.
don't lose that money. And I wish someone had told me that when I started trading, but no one in my circle had ever done anything like it. So I was just kind of new to the game by myself. You know, I started in Discords. I joined Atlas for quite a while. Now I trade in some other groups, GMT shout out, Real One shout out, both
Mm-hmm.
fantastic groups. Um, so honestly, the best way I learned was watching people that were better than me and seeing what they were doing, and not just seeing it and trying to, take their shout outs or calls or whatever they're trying to do, but seeing what they're seeing and how they're able to make these plays with high confidence, and be able to put more money on it at once, quote unquote. But why are they confident and I can't be, right?
Exactly.
So at the end of the day, it's just bad trading habits that are going to catch up to you if you're complacent. So you got to really wake up every day and want it. Like I'm sure you've seen my energy when I'm trading live on
Mm-hmm.
the voice chat. I'm just up and at it because I truly believe my energy is going to relate into, my trading. So it's a big morale thing when it comes to trading.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, trading is just kind of a display of fear versus greed.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, those are all human emotions, right? So understanding those emotions also help develop you into a trader that you're trying to be.
Gotcha. No, that makes perfect sense.
Hmm.
And so, taking that into account, with your trading now, would you say you've developed kind of a more day trader or swing trader style?
So I feel like I have my highest success rates when I day trade.
Okay.
And again, I am primarily an options trader.
Gotcha.
I see breakouts and I like playing same week expiry options and just day trading them.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because if a stock moves 2%, on that 2% on my weekly option, I can run an option up 50 to 100%, in an hour or two and make my money that way, right? But
Yeah, yeah.
understanding those options are quite difficult, but that's a whole nother story. So that's just my type of system. I'm a in the money weekly options trader. I like playing different types of options. Like, I take those lotto strategies where you can take some dead options, pick them up, hold on to them, swing them, and sometimes they pick up momentum and they just send you to the moon,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it's learning how to kind of balance your portfolio.
Gotcha.
Everyone has a different strategy, right? So you can take long-term positions and you can take short-term positions. Also, you can take hedge positions.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're asking if I'm a day trader or a swing trader, a little bit of both.
Okay.
I feel like I have quite a balance. So I'll swing some shares, I'll swing some longer term options, but primarily the most money I make is day trading those options.
Okay. And is that how you started out when you had a small account when you first started trading?
Yeah, I feel like the best way to grow a smaller account
Okay.
is trading options. So think of it this way. If you're holding shares, shares will go up. It's inevitable, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what stocks are made for, to go up. That's the whole point. You list your stock, you're like, let's take this to the moon. Whether it's gonna take a month, a year, a few years, that's their whole point. But if you're a small account, if you're playing with, anything under 25K, in my opinion, is a small account. As long as if you're restricted from trading in any type of way, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're trading with a small account. You have limitations that other people in the game don't. What people don't realize in trading is that it's a giant fish tank. In this tank, you can have small fish and you can have sharks, but you're all in the same tank. It's one ecosystem. Everyone's playing the same game. So you have to realize when you're trading with a small account, you're limited. If something goes down, you're gonna need firepower to pick up more, right?
Yeah.
Whereas if you're a hedge fund, you don't even have to worry about that. You'll just be able to pick up more because you have the money, or you'll call up your homies and say, "Hey, pick this up for me, and let's take it up a little bit so I can get out." But as retail traders, you don't really have that luxury, right? So you have to kind of be more strategic with how you want to grow your account. And in my opinion, the best way to do that is just stay in cash all the time. So when you're swing trading, especially as a small account, you're kind of waking up and hoping. Yeah, you can ride a trend for quite a while and it'll pay off, right? But there's risks when you do that. If you're not willing to risk that $100 or $1,000 that you're putting in, you know, then don't swing. Why? It's kind of out of your control. Those pre-market, after-market moves, I know especially there's a lot of Robinhood traders out there. You can't trade those pre-market and after-market, right? So if the stock is going down or if the stock is going up, you can't take your money. You'll be sitting there watching it. And there has been instances where I was trading on Robinhood. This was about, a year and a half, 2 years ago, where the stock's going up and I can't do anything. I literally couldn't sell it.
Oh my God, dude.
And then the market opens and it's just dumping, and you're like, wow, I could have made so much money there.
Yeah.
But guess what? No, because you're limited. So my best advice for traders just starting out is get a cash account. Especially cash account. I like Webull for options specifically.
Hmm.
But yeah, when you trade, and let's say you're trading with $1,000, you can use that $1,000 on an option, sell that option the same day, not get a PDT or pattern day trade warning, and the next day the cash is sitting there available for you to use it again. The only thing that's unfortunate is you can't use it again in the same day. But that's a good give and take, in my opinion, where you're not limited. If you take 3 trades, you're not gonna get banned for 3 months with the
Yeah.
PDT, right? So that's the best thing I would start there is getting a cash account and doing what it says, staying cash.
Let's talk about the mentality a little bit more. So what are the top, like, I don't know, let's say like 2 to 3 things that you're seeing, like the top 2 to 3 mistakes that you're seeing newer traders or traders making when they have red days, and how could they correct that?
Man, so this is something that I used to have trouble with as well, and I see it a lot. I call it tunnel vision.
Okay.
Okay, you can't tunnel vision. Avoid that shit. Make sure to go into a trade with the big picture, So when you see me doing my charting sessions, first thing I look at is the daily chart. I want to know what this stock has done previously. Always look left,
Hmm.
See the big picture, see what this stock has done, could do, where's the bottom, where's the top, find your supply and demand zones, okay? And don't tunnel vision. If this stock was in a demand zone, right? And it finally broke out, it's gone. If you FOMO that trade, chances are you're gonna lose,
Hmm.
okay? So you don't want to be trading every kind of setup that you see. You have to ask yourself, can you make this trade a repeatable setup, okay, for consistent gains? Or are you just in that trade for that minute to win at that moment? Just that one trade, with the setup that you can't repeat, okay? That's how you start blowing up your account. That's the tunnel vision I'm talking about. You want to make a system that you can use over and over and over again. That's why you see a lot of traders trading just one stock. I know this one guy, he primarily only trades the SPY,
Wow.
right? And you can't get mad at him because this guy watches the SPY so much. He's practically best friends with it. He knows the personality, he knows what it's gonna do, when it's gonna do it.
I
And
love
I'm
that.
sure if you trade one stock, I guarantee you're gonna start getting better at trading in general because you're gonna learn when to wait, you're gonna learn when to cut, and you're gonna learn when to double down, right? So let's say you were already trading and you lost. Don't say, hey, I lost and I want to get this all back. How can I recover? How can I what am I supposed to do? No, that's not what you're supposed to do. You should be asking yourself, how can I be a better trader? How can I be more consistent? Right? So don't focus on the money you lost. Okay? It stops your growth right there. Just follow the process and the money's gonna come with it. I promise you.
Exactly, and I've been kind of preaching that a little bit on the channel too, to like just take like a couple tickers with that are very liquid, and just to practice them. Even if you don't trade them, just learn how they move, and it really helps with your charting as well. Do you have any tickers that you just keep going back to, Bull Shark?
Yeah, so I watch everything from large caps to small caps. I really
Okay.
like trading options on larger caps
Yep.
just because they work better, they move more, there's more liquidity in them,
100%.
right? So those are the type of options where I can trade and be more consistent on, you know? But there are options on smaller caps where you can pick them up and hold on to them, and when they do pop, those are the ones that are going to be paying you, 300%, 400%. Like last week I had a JFin option that I was sitting on, right? And I had no intent of it going up at any time. It was a longer term option. And I
Mm-hmm.
just woke up and it was up like 175%. What are you
Wow.
gonna do? You just close it, you take the money, right? So those are the things that I'm talking about in options where sometimes it's kind of out of your control, right? But ultimately it's always going to be in your control, right? So I'm always taking a balance of those quote unquote lotto options, yet I'm trading my consistent options with bigger size, and just putting a little bit on those lottos. If I'm taking 10 contracts of my consistent options, I'm taking one contract of those lottos. Money I'm willing to toss if I really in that gambling spirit, right?
Mm-hmm.
But again, it's not gambling, you know? It's a plan. It's a plan you have. You say, hey, this chart has a bottomed out range. It's been consolidating. I don't know when it's going to break out of this consolidation, but when it does, it's going to pay. And I already expect these options to go worthless. So I can take it. And if it breaks out, I'm not going to miss it, right? And again, if you do miss it, you can just wait for the pullback and pick up the pullback.
Gotcha.
So I have this rule, and again, none of these rules that I'm talking about are anything that I've created. It's just things that I've seen, I've used, and they've worked for me. So I'm just kind of passing on that information, you know? So I only add small when I take a position, right? And if it works for you, then you can add more. But if that breakout doesn't work for you, right then and there, you can cut that starter. That way you don't lose that much, right? But if you're adding on confirmation into the breakout, the trend up should pay. So ultimately what you're trying to do is find R, right? Your risk per trade, and trying to be consistent with that risk level, right? Find your fixed risk, okay, and try to be systematic with it, right? So let's say you're taking a trade, right? You lose 2K here, you lose 2K there. Now you start winning 6K, 7K. Then your risk reward, okay, starts becoming random, okay? Stop. Okay, once you can keep your risk or your losers consistent, okay, then you can focus on winning 2 times, 3 times your risk, right? So that could be in like long momentum trading, shorting, options, pattern breakouts, whatever you want, right? Just be consistent with your losses. So say, hey, today I'm gonna trade. In this trade, I'm willing to only lose 10%, okay? That 10% could be $100, that 10% could be $500, that 10% could be $1,000. Based off that percentage, now you can calculate your position sizing, right? So let's say I'm only willing to lose $100, okay, and that's 10% of my position. Now I'm only going to be putting $1,000 on the table, so I can risk $100, right? You see where I'm getting at?
Absolutely.
So now if I want to position size a little harder, right? Let's say I'm willing to lose $1,000 on this play, but only 10%, 10% max risk factor. Now I can put 10,000 on this play, right? And still only be willing to risk $1,000.
Gotcha.
And again, that risk reward can change between traders. Someone with a smaller account shouldn't be taking those bigger risks. In fact, their risk should be a little bit smaller because they're trying to conserve their capital, right, to grow. Whereas someone with a bigger account can risk a little bit more because if they lose, it's not going to hurt their account as much as someone that's trying to grow from 100 to a million, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
That's great. So one more question, and then I want to try to do the screen sharing after this, and we'll see if we can like look at entry, supply, and demand, and things like that. I'm seeing traders like in my streams sometime as well, like when we do the live trading. They'll be up and they'll have profits, but they won't take them, and then it dips, and they're like, okay, well, you know, at least if it comes back to what I had before as profits, then I'll take it now that, you know, it's dipped once, but then it doesn't dip and it doesn't come back and it dips again. Do you have any advice for taking profits and not holding too long and then becoming a bag holder?
Yeah, man. Number one thing, you see green, you take green.
Exactly.
Man, a lot of times you'll be up on your position. If you're asking yourself, should I close this out? Guess what?
Close it.
Close it out. Take the money,
Yeah.
dude. So, you know, you can let some ride. This is how I think of it.
Mhm.
Let's say I take a position and I'm up, right? I'll take the money I put in and I'll take a little bit of the profits. And guess what? Whatever is left is just on profits. So this past week I was playing Novavax, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Novavax for me, I took the call on Monday, right? And I said, you know what? Pfizer has popped, Myrna has popped, COVID's really heavy, Delta's hurting the world. What COVID stocks haven't popped yet? Well, guess what? Novavax was one of them. OCGN was another one of them. And last week when I was in the stream, you know, talking on Discord, I even mentioned it. I said, hey, you know, let's watch out for these COVID stocks. And we loaded up on them. And this week they paid. Now, that's a combination of A, playing the news, and B, looking out for charts in those demand zones,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that's the type of play that I did where, hey, you know, you wake up one day and you're up on them and you're asking yourself, hey, can this continue? Well, if you're already asking yourself that question, start scaling out. If you're already up on profits, take some off the table. Now your risk becomes lower. You can still stay in with conviction because you have money on the table, right? But you're not as worried about your position because you've taken a lot off and you're just playing with profits, right?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
100%.
So let the technicals dictate those stops and your position sizing. Don't just put like random stops and size based on money you like are willing to lose or not. But if this thing's running, just keep moving up your stop. Keep moving up your stop. Keep moving up your stop. That way if it goes down, hey, guess what? You're still in the money. And now you're not going negative on a trade that was previously positive. And you'll be happy every time.
100% agree. Let's try to set up your screen share, Bull Shark, and we'll go into like entries and your indicators and stuff like that. Just
Sure.
give us a second, traders. I'm gonna just see if this is. Last time I tried this, it was really grainy, but I was using a shitty MacBook, so should be better this time. And if you guys have any questions in the chat, please post away. We'd love to take some questions, especially later on. We're going to do a bit of a Q&A. Yeah, this looks pretty good. Let me see if I can make this full
I'm not
screen.
looking at the chat, so if
Yep, I'll be the
there's
chat.
questions.
Okay. let me
By the way,
see.
for anyone wondering, I just turned 24 this year. So
24.
I am kind of younger, but doing this has made me not go to work. So I was mentioning that earlier.
Yeah.
Marine biologists don't really get paid too well.
So,
I'll tell you something, if you put your time in this, you're gonna get paid.
100%. So, are you still working as a marine biologist, or are you just trading now?
I'm just trading now,
That's
but
sick,
I
bro.
am working on starting my own business.
Bro, that's so sick.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a way I can make this
Oh,
full screen? Oh wait, yeah, there is. Kind of. Okay. How's that look, traders? That looks pretty good. Yeah, I like that. Okay, yeah, let's do it. So, first thing I want to go over is your setup as
yeah.
far as indicators and what you like to look at. As far as indicators and technicals.
Yeah, sure. I'll go over it. So let's turn these off. So I personally like trading supply and demand zones,
Okay.
okay, on an empty chart. So when I first open any chart, I go over here to its daily range, okay? And I just want to look left and I want to see what this chart did, okay? This is how you kind of plan out your entries and your exits. So obviously, if we were looking at this from just this year,
Yep.
December, January, right here. So beginning of this year, 2021, the stock was trading at around $2. If you weren't in here, okay, and you missed this breakout, you can't be chasing this bar, okay? You just can't do it. It's just you're gonna lose, okay? So now we kind of wait for this to break down and kind of build its zone. So here's a zone to watch. Here's a zone to watch. Can kind of see that it came down to here, but didn't really spend too much time, right? So now we know that there's this definitive buying and selling that's going on all in this zone,
Mm-hmm.
right? So as I previously discussed, any bar is a filled order. Okay, it's an order that's been placed and been filled. But you see how there's a lot of gray space under here. It's because there are orders in these zones that haven't been filled. So the first thing that I like looking at to see where those orders are, okay, is the volume by price. Okay? In the volume by price or volume profile, you can see where a majority of block orders are placed that haven't really been filled. Okay, so in these zones, you can see there are big block orders, and there's a nice gap. Okay, so if I was looking for a position, I want to be using some type of shelf or some type of zone that's going to give me like a definitive range of breakout,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I looked at my first zone from the top of this candle and I see, hey, you know what? From this candle, it made a nice move up. So let's just draw out a zone here to see what happened here, okay? So I was just looking at that one candle as my first like, hey, okay, this is kind of like a nice zone that it has. It made a move up, came back here, spent almost no time here,
Yep.
dojied out, and just left, right? So now, if I didn't get in at this zone, I'll be watching this zone and super close to it. So I saw there's a little consolidation here, right? Guess what? You can draw that as another zone. They're a little smaller. Yep, right around there. So I like these type of zones because A, there's a lot of block orders. B, it's cheaper than the price it's ran to. And C, knowing that it's gone up, it tells me, hey, this has room to go up. If people are bag holding from up here, they're gonna want the stock to go up, right? So now I can take fills, okay, or what I like to call my starters at this zone, okay? This zone on like if I'm trading this, hey, we got into this stock on Monday, right? So if I'm looking at the stock just from Monday, yeah, we were looking at this over the weekend. We were watching this, so I had a nice channel that it was playing, you know, and we said, hey, okay, we can break out of this channel and see what's up.
Gotcha.
So hey, consolidation in that channel, a breakout, people selling off here, kind of weakness. Guess what it did? It did that thing that I was talking about, where it retraces to come fill up all the unfilled orders in that zone,
Mm-hmm.
pick them up, and then it can take off, right? So if you're playing this on an intraday zone, right, you want to be looking on a bigger time scale, knowing, hey, if it comes to these specific zones on the lower side, I can take my entries with a lower risk factor. Now, let's say you wake up Monday morning and say, hey, I like OCG and I think it's going to go up. Well, guess what? If you're buying in the middle of those zones, of those supply and demand zones, so you're going to lose money. Or if you're going to make money, it's not enough to cover your risk factor, right? So what I mean by that is, let's say I'm just trying to make it right before it gaps down, right? But I see that there's a nice zone down here where the first big move happened, you know, it was breaking down, said no thank you, let's reverse, you know? So if I'm just taking that candle as my risk zone,
Right.
anything anything in between this, yes, you can make money, but chances are they're gonna trap you in here,
It's higher
right?
risk.
It's a lot higher risk. There's
Yeah.
no definitive zone for you to take for you to say, hey, you know what, like I can make money. So you're either loading up here or taking your starters here and saying, hey, I'll load down all the way to the bottom of my zone and I can get better fills down here. This whole move is only like a 50-cent move,
Gotcha.
right? But now it's not 50 cents. Okay. Now you're taking the stock at $8 when you could have been picking them up at 6.50,
Exactly.
right? So the move up to that zone is a lot less. You know, you're only gonna make $1 up to that zone where you could have made like $3 or $4. Now your risk reward isn't worth it. And again, this is for swings. We can trade this any type of way. If I go trade the 15-minute on this, obviously those zones are going to be a little different. So I said, hey, oh shit, I missed out that big first move. But look, there was a big wall here, you know, they came and tested it. It broke out. So where can I take my position? Hey, you know what? I'll take my starters over here, right? And I'll give it a few percent under as like a risk zone, right? Maybe to the bottom of that candle, and then I'll just stop out. If it goes under, it's probably going to come back here and I'll get a better fill.
Yeah.
But now I can take this as a day trade. And on Friday, I was trading this, I believe. Yeah, on Friday, it was breaking out. Yep, 6. Woke up, had this nice count. It was just loading calls in here, the weekly calls, right? With high conviction. And we just ran it up. And those T to 0 contracts or the same day expiry contracts move hard. So I think we made like a 60%
Sheesh.
gain on a OCGN contract. Yeah, just playing the first 3 or 4 bars on the 15-minute.
Wow.
Yep.
That's crazy, dude. So
Yeah, and then I was out.
I get a lot of traders asking me on stream because I'm trying to draw these supply and demand zones. You like broke me, bro. Like the it's crazy, dude. I'm obsessed with the supply and demand zones now, and I'm just drawing them all over the place. And like the 10-minute chart, I love.
Yeah,
So what I wanted to
just
ask.
be careful when you're drawing out with them.
Yep.
With the supply and demand zone.
Mhm.
Every time frame is gonna have its supply and demand zone. So make sure to know, hey, if I'm swinging this, you want to not be looking at the 15-minute. You want to be going larger out. You want the 1 hour,
Yep.
right? You want the 4 hour. You want the daily.
Exactly.
Because if you're going to be swinging it, you have to see, hey, what's the range of this? So if it broke it, so let's say we were watching this, hey, there's a wedge, you know, it broke out. Maybe we'll wait for a retest of the breakout and then a nice higher low, and then we'll ride it up, right? If I'm trying to swing this intraday.
That's
But
a-
again, I don't really swing, you know, I like day trading those breakouts. You know, I was saying I can add heavy on the breakouts, and if it doesn't work out, I can just cut it on my zone, you know, and not get piped for whatever it is.
absolutely.
So
That's what I was gonna
that's what I
ask.
use my zone for. It's just kind of defining my risk and how hard I can load into that zone, right? Before I stop out.
Gotcha.
right? And you saw that the other day when we were playing. I believe it was QQQ.
Yes, yes, that's right.
We were playing this on your stream
Mm-hmm.
when it was falling, and I was literally saying, "Hey, no, it's falling, but it's holding the trend line. It's in the zone.
Yep.
I'm adding more here." And guess what happened, dude? It just
Ripped.
it ripped, right? So
It's like
it's
adding
it's
more.
not
I'm like
something
sweating.
that
I'm like, okay.
yeah here yeah. So it wasn't something that it was random. I said, "Hey, it broke down. It's playing with us. Just wait for it. I'm just loading this whole zone, and watch. If I extend this,
Bam.
it never broke out of that old zone.
Bro,
You
that's
know?
crazy.
Yeah. So that's what I was watching on this QQQ play the other day. This was
Yeah,
August 3.
that was sick,
So
dude.
about yeah. So I was watching the zone. I'm like, oh, dude, like it doesn't want to break into the zone. It doesn't want to break in. As soon as it broke down, I'm like, okay, I'll just take a starter here,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll have a super tight risk. So I only risked like 20 cents on this play,
Whew.
which is maybe like 10% on the weekly option,
Yep.
maybe a little less, right? But even before that, it was just out.
Gotcha. So,
And that's why I really play like the bigger candles when I'm
yes.
intraday trade or like day trading, more to say, because the 5 minute, the 1 minute, they're too small. They're gonna fake you out. The more candles you look at, the more chances of getting faked out. That's how I think of it. So I like the 10 minute a lot and the 15 minute if I'm day trading.
Gotcha. Okay. Perfect.
Yeah,
That's what I was gonna ask for between day trading and swing trading. What time frames you like?
yeah. For day trading, for sure, go smaller. Watch the 5 to see this like the micro movements, but be trading the 10 or the 15 at least.
Gotcha. So for somebody who's never drawn supply and demand before and who are trying to learn, like what are some simple ways to start learning it, or what can they look for to draw supply and demand if they're brand new to it?
Okay, first, so I'll even post a video after this.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I'll show you right now. So for example, one play that I'm on right now for a longer term
Mm-hmm.
is hymns. Okay, I'm sure you've heard me talk about the stock before.
Mm-hmm.
So what I like, okay, what I look for, it's kind of like an ABCD, okay,
Gotcha.
but I want a spot, okay. This is just how I do it, okay. Breakout. Oh man, we missed this breakout. Downtrend. Okay. Now you're gonna get a reversal. So you could have done that here. You could have done that here. Somewhere where it's gonna dip into, spend almost no time, and then take off again. Right? So you had a breakout candle, an undecisive morning star, right? And then a nice breakout. Here is where you can take it for kind of like an intraday trend and just ride this up until you get a breakdown, right? So if you look at any of these candles, they never really broke down the mother bar, right?
Okay.
They never broke down the mother bar. But this one, guess what it did? It broke down the mother bar. That's where you're going to get a kind of a reversal. And again, this is on the daily chart. You can look at this on any other chart. But now I know that it kind of has like a defined risk zone. And if I open up the volume profile, we'll check it out. It has like a nice volume shelf. Even without looking at it, I just turned it off so you can see it.
Mm-hmm.
So in these type of plays, there's a lot of people that want to buy it here. Okay, there's a point of control. In this zone, I can load up with super small risk, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now look for another zone. So I see, hey, if it breaks out of here, there's a nice little gap fill to this zone. A lot of people want to buy it here at $10. So guess what? At this $10 level, okay, we're going for a $2 move up. It's $8.15 right now. At the zone, it would be $10.74. So you're making $2, yeah, about $2 on this trade. Whereas your risk on this, right, you can keep it as tight as you want it. You can say, hey, I'm only gonna watch this small zone, maybe give it an extra couple percent. And if it breaks down out of this, I'm out because it's gonna build a new low, right? But it's been here before, and at this spot, it left. So you can say, hey, at this spot, there was a nice reversal play. There's high volume, right? And this week was kind of the first up week that HIMS has seen in quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was an up week. But again, it's these definitive zones that you can play and risk. So this is what I was talking about, is this zone that plus or minus few percent where it's gonna fake you out. That's
Right.
only like 20 cents, before it takes off, right?
Gotcha.
And from what this looks like to me is the retest. So look right here, broke down out of here, went back, came up, broke, went up, came down, couldn't hold it, went back down. Now look what it's doing. Came back down, but now we have an up candle. So we want to see how this plays out. If it's going to hold up this zone and maybe move up back here to our target, right? Because we're in from here. If you're adding a position, be careful because now it's playing the zones, right?
Yes.
So what I'm looking for really for a breakout, okay, is to leave this zone. That's when I can start like swinging slightly heavier with conviction if it gets out of this breakout consolidation. Right?
Yep.
So again, just defining your risk in these type of zones is how you're going to make the best risk reward in my opinion, especially if you're taking options. See, if you're taking weekly options and you see consolidation like this, chances are you're going to lose money. Why? It's because they're buying the stock and selling calls that are out of the money, okay? And they expire super quick because you're going to be buying it here thinking, oh shit, it's in that zone, it's going to break out. But guess what? No, it's not going to break out there because it needs to load up people here for quite a while before it breaks out, right? So we're not trying to predict the breakout. We're just kind of taking this and predicting a breakdown, right? So if it goes down, hey, this is that zone that if it gets out of here, okay, you really got to watch out because now it's going to go down even more. But we don't care when it goes back up. I can sit and hold on to this with like no risk if I'm swinging it, just put my stop and not even worry about this position. So this is the type of play where I say, hey, this is a high conviction play for me because it has a definitive zone. I can take it, I can swing it and not worry about the risk because I have my stop set. Right? If you're playing with bigger position, you don't really want to be putting your stop. Just put a mental stop and just know, hey, if it breaks down, get me out. Right? But if you're playing the options on this, you don't want to be playing the weekly options because you're gonna get hurt. You're gonna get hurt bad. They'll hold down those contracts. I mean, if you see lots, they held these contracts down for maybe a couple months.
I do have a couple questions for you here if you'd like to take them as well.
Sure.
So Jaylicious was asking, so on day trades, do you actually use a 10 15? Sorry, let me read this again. Do you actually use a 10 to 15, I think, time frame? And do you wait for the candle to close before you take a move? And if so, how do you handle
You have to wait for the candle to
kills?
close every time.
Okay.
So, one more. Wait, what was the second part of the question?
And if so, how do you handle kills? I think that means kill candles.
Oh, well, how does every trader handle them? You take the loss.
Yeah.
You walk away sad. Yeah, so I mean, this is a kill. This is a kill candle right there and a half. I'll show you. Give me a sec.
And then the other question is, you mentioned mother bar. Terp Center's never heard that.
Yeah, what's a motherboard?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so I don't know if you're familiar. Do you know what a T+2 and a T+3 play is?
T+2 and a T+3? No.
Okay, so there's this general kind of rule with a T+2, T+3. Okay, and I'll show you what that is. In a T+2, T+3, okay, you want to look at your motherboard. Okay, your next candle, if you're swinging, okay, your next candle shouldn't close below your mother candle. Your mother candle being the big candle after the breakout, right? So look right here.
Yep.
So we had a nice move up, second move up, a third move up, right? Now realistically, if you want this play to keep going, okay, you don't want this candle, this 10-minute candle, to close below your mother candle. That's why you get a continuation of the move down. Now, if you see this candle, it didn't really break down this candle, right? So you could have taken just this level, okay, this top level as a risk, you know, and said, hey, if it goes below this, it's closing before my first breakout candle, I'm completely out. But now in this zone, okay, you can take a small risk factor and say, hey, breakout, breakout, maybe this is just the retest. And guess what? It has a nice definitive zone, right? If I extend this out, you'll see
Mm-hmm.
it,
Yeah, beautiful.
right? So it has a nice zone that it's gonna play. Maybe this is just the retest before it can take off. And that's exactly what it did. So this is the T+2, T+3 play, right? I mean, let's just look at it like on the 1 hour, sorry, or even the 4 hour. Yeah, so you just don't want your candles to be breaking your mother candle. Okay.
Okay.
So again, I can send some links if anyone needs them, hit me up to the T+2, T+3 play, but I don't want to get into it too much because it's slightly more complicated than that.
For sure.
But yeah. Um, but let's just go over one more play. This is the Novavax play that I was talking about
Mm-hmm.
earlier. So this is that zone that I was playing for Novavax, right? So I saw, hey, there's kind of consolidation going on between this zone, right? Hey, this zone and this zone, before there was a breakout and said, oh, okay, so we're ranging now. This is building a range with the point of control being in that center. So guess what? This, okay, was beginning of the week. It broke down, okay, what was the beginning of the week? It was on the 2nd. Yep. So on the 2nd, okay, it played out, or this was on my watch list from before. I just kind of saw the kill, right? And then it didn't even fucking come into the zone, and it said, hey, you know what? I might make a move back up to the range. So I said, okay, I'm gonna watch this. I'm gonna watch this setup, take this as my risk, okay, my plus or minus 5% within that range, right? And I can take this for that bigger move up. So throughout the week, guess what it did? On the 3rd, which was Tuesday the 3rd, on the 4th, yeah, we took our position on the 2nd, swung it to the end of the week. On the 3rd, it already made a move up. On the 4th, it was breaking out big time.
Yeah.
Little pullback towards the end of the day. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
On the 5th, we had even a nicer move out. Okay. At this point, our contracts that we were swinging were up about 600% from this
Sheesh.
breakout move,
Damn.
right? So if you're not taking money here,
Yeah. For real.
sucks for you. Sucks for you.
Someone else is. Right?
Why? Look at that beautiful clean breakout. Breakout, tested the zone, breakout.
Yeah.
Right? So at this point, you know that there's a supply zone here. You know that people were selling there, right? Like literally every single time, people were like watching that zone and saying, "Hey, you know what? Like we're kind of gonna dump it there."
Mm-hmm. It's a good
So
spot to
I
sell.
was really watching this zone, and I didn't even expect it to gap up like that. Honestly, I just kind of wanted it to come test the zone. That's where the money was.
Yeah, yeah.
But with our luck, we were after this play, we were just playing with profits. So I had already closed some out the previous day
Gotcha.
and just let some ride on profits. And then it broke out, came into that supply zone and said, "Hey, you know what? Like you got to take some money on that."
Yeah.
And that's exactly what it did. So guess what? Now it came back into that zone of breakout, but hasn't broken that breakout zone yet, right? So that's what I'm watching is that VWAP, because I still have a position that I'm swinging into next week to see if there's going to be some type of dead cat bounce back to the top of that zone,
Gotcha.
right? But the thing is, at this point, you have a definitive risk. You have some type of zone or heavy buying power that's holding you up. Now, again, if you're swinging contracts it's risky. This play, in my opinion, is a higher risk play. A, because you're swinging over the weekend, automatically you're going to be paying the theta, right? Theta is the time decay on price. So let's say you have a contract costs $1, even if the stock didn't move at all, a dollar up or down, on the next day your contract will be down because you have to pay a fee, aka theta, right? Or time decay on that contract, right? So you'll automatically be down. So this type of play is higher risk because even if it holds this level, those contracts will be down because of theta.
Right.
You even pay theta over the weekend, right?
Yep.
If anyone didn't know that, if you hold your contracts over the weekend, you still pay for each day. Okay. But again, this is for me like a medium to low confidence lotto where I'm already playing on just leftover profits to see if I can get a bounce here,
Wow.
right? Just because of this volume. That's what I'm watching, you know. But again, everyone has their own style that they like to play, you know. Find your style, make your conviction, and play it out.
100%,
But
man.
yeah, when someone was asking about the zones, like this is that zone that I'm watching. You know, where's that breakout happening? Where are those definitive zones? Where are the ranges? And you know, you can play it on different time zones. But this for me was a swing, so that's why I'm looking at the 4 hours. I have to look at the 1 hour, the 4 hour, the daily, and find those defined zones and play it. And if you see on the bigger zone, like you're playing it in the zone. Like our risk level, yeah, it's a more expensive stock, right? So we have like instead of a $2 range, I'm playing more like a $5 to $10 range, right? But
Mm-hmm.
right here, I can see that there's a giant gap down. So I can take this as my defined zone and say, hey, you know, every time it came into the zone, it did something. It did something. It did something.
Yes.
So I can take it since it's in that zone and have a small risks, you know? So that's the thing where I'm saying is if you keep your risk defined throughout your play, you know, say, hey, I want to lose $100. Don't think of the percent. Don't think I want to lose 10%. But no, think of like the money. I want to risk $100. Okay. Then you
Gotcha.
can scale accordingly to a play that, you know, costs $200 per share or a play that costs $3 per share. It's knowing and defining your max dollar loss, right?
Yeah, that's
Knowing,
smart.
hey, I'm willing to lose X amount on this play. If I'm down X amount, then I'm out, and that will define, hey, okay, I'm willing to risk 3%. I'm willing to risk 5%. It's that dollar amount. Keeping that dollar amount consistent is how you're gonna start stacking your profits and keeping your losers consistent.
Gotcha. We do have a question from Silent Hal Z28. Theta isn't priced in before the weekend? Question mark. What's to stop people from selling on Friday before close and buying to close on open on Monday? Granted, you would have to hope the price maintains the same.
See, so the only reason that people will take these contracts over the weekend, one, if they're longer term contracts, the theta doesn't hurt you as much, right? So if you have a contract that expires, you know, let's say the next one's coming up or the August 13th, right? Then the August 13th contracts over the weekend are gonna get hurt, okay? But contracts that expire in January 2023, they're not gonna get hurt that much, right? So you can take those longer term ones over the weekend and not have to stress as much. Whereas if you take the contracts that expire soon, they're gonna hurt you. But sometimes you have gappers, you have a stock with options that decides to run 100% at a time every time it runs. So the people that are swinging those contracts over the weekend have some type of conviction that this stock is gonna run, right? So that's when they'll take those shorter term contracts where that data isn't going to hurt them because they already expect or have priced in a certain amount of move up. And the best way to do that is options profit calculator. For anyone who doesn't know options profit calculator, I've mentioned this once before.
Mm-hmm.
In options profit calculator, you can see exactly how much you're willing to make or lose and define that on a time versus price plot,
Can we walk
right?
through a
So
couple?
for example, yeah. So for example, hymns, okay? In hymns, the August 20 contracts. So let's just look at the $10 contract. On the $10 contract, there's the bid, the ask, and then the mid price. You're gonna fill at most likely the mid price. Okay, if you get the bid, even better. But let's say you're in at Monday open, you know this thing's about to run up, you're gonna fill at this mid price. So let's say you take the mid price. Now you can calculate your range, right? So let's say hymns. We're looking at hymns. I know that the most I'm willing to take the stock down is 765, right? Sorry, 765. That's my defined risk level, okay? Now, my target, my PT, how to find your PT. It's kind of finding that zone that you're trying to take it to. Where did this thing bounce? So you can even be more realistic. This is being generous with it. I want to be realistic, right? I want to just make it move right before it came down, right? So that's about $10, let's say. Let's just be nice with $10 flat. At $10 flat on these August 20 contracts. Let's say we wake up Monday, okay? Monday is the 9th, okay? And hymns goes to $10. On those contracts, you would make 278%. Okay, if hymns open at $10. But chances are it's not. Why? Because it's consolidating in that range. That's how they get you on these contracts, because everyone sees this upside, but no one sees the downside. On the downside, we're willing to take these to 764. If your risk is at 764 on these August 20 contracts, look how it changes. Okay, at 764, that's $7. Let's put that. Yep, at 764 on Monday, you'd lose 60% of this contract. Right? So you see this and you get excited, but you don't realize that you can lose a lot of money. You're going to lose more than half of that contract over the weekend just by holding on to
Wow.
them. Right? So no one prices that move in.
Right.
But let's say you're going to take the further out contract, the February 18s, right? Same contract at $10, you know, your downside is $7, your upside is 10.3, right? At $10 on Monday, instead of making 300%, you would have made only 70%. But guess what? If it breaks down to 760, instead of taking a 60% loss, you're taking a 20% loss. That's 3 times less of a risk just by taking the further out contracts over the weekend, right?
Mm-hmm.
So don't worry about your move up. Stop thinking about how much am I going to make. Start thinking about the downside,
Yeah.
right? This is when you're trading options, this is going to be your best friend, options profit calculator. Because now you know, and now you're not guessing, hey, what am I trying to take this contract to? What's my max risk on this? Now you can define your risk. You can say, hey, I'm going to take these long-term contracts. But guess what? By the end of August, if it doesn't go up to at least 850, you know, I'm going to start losing money on this contract. If it just holds flat at its price, like it was doing, it's consolidating, right?
Mm-hmm.
The longer you hold it, the theta is going to start hurting you.
There it is. Yeah.
So you have to know the date that you're willing to hold these contracts into and the price that you're trying to get it at by that date to
Wow.
know, hey, I'm going to take this contract and it's going to pay me this much. And it's definitive, right? These prices will fluctuate a little bit, right? Based off of implied volatility, right? And the closer the theta gets, you know, these are going to start hurting you more.
Mm-hmm.
But that's more or less the name of the game.
Wow.
Again, even taking these long-term contracts doesn't mean you're going to be holding on to them till February 18, but because guess what? If you're holding them till then, you're probably going to lose money, right? These contracts will kill you if the price doesn't go up, right? So you have to know, I can take these longer-term contracts, but only swing them like 3 or 4 days, right? Because I'm expecting this type of movement. I want to price in like, you know, we're trying to take it to $10 in the end of the week. By the end of the week, you know, August 14, we'll make 70% on these contracts if they go to $10, right?
Right.
Obviously, the August ones will be more money, but now your risk factor is more. You can't really say, hey, I only want to take a 10% risk. Well, then guess what? Don't take the August 20 contracts. Get paid less, but risk less.
Right. That's
You
crazy,
see
man.
what I mean?
Yeah, that takes the
Yeah,
guesswork
that's so
right
that's
out.
how the yeah, you're dude, when you're playing options, don't be guessing.
Yeah,
Know
exactly.
your risk, know your reward. Now, let's say we're just trying to day trade these options, right? So that was for a swing, how they kind of work. Now let's say I'm day trading, right? Let's say I'm like, oh, Tesla, I want to day trade Tesla. Tesla's a cool stock. Well, guess what? I've already drawn out these zones on Tesla. So let's say I'm taking this as my risk zone. Every time it comes in here, it pops out. Every time it comes in here, it pops out. So let's just take it for a third time. Every time it comes in here, let's see if it's gonna pop out and break out of this, right? So that's what I was watching. Now, if you're trying to trade the Tesla contracts, one, they're expensive. Two, their IV tends to fluctuate a lot. It goes from super high to super low, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's gonna do a lot of consolidation before it finds any type of definitive direction that it's gonna go to. Now it looks like it's up. Maybe it's testing. Who knows where it's gonna go? Maybe it breaks back down. Maybe it and comes back and tests the zone before it goes up. So it's not definitive. So Tesla is one of those names that if I'm swinging, I'm either swinging lottos, like those contracts that have like a 10-cent risk, but if it does pop, it's gonna pay me. It'll
Right.
move like from here to here in a day because I've seen Tesla
Oh,
like jump
yeah.
$50 to $75 at once, right? So if you're trying to take those longer moves, take the lottos because they're lower. Like obviously you have a higher chance of losing on them, right? But in terms of dollar amount, they cost a lot less, so you're
Yep.
risking less, right? And you can just primarily trade the daily contracts and control your risk levels. So you're not swinging and having to worry about data and all that. You're just trading. And when you're day trading, it's called delta trading. So you're trading the delta on these contracts. So I'll show you what I mean by that.
Okay.
So for example, okay, let's pretend Monday opens up and you're taking the weekly contracts, which would be the August 13th. Those contracts are right now 1302. At open, they're not going to be worth 1302. These are probably going to be worth somewhere around $1,000, maybe 1100, maybe a little bit less. Why? Because you're still paying data over the weekend, right?
Mm-hmm.
So at open, if Tesla opens up at its price, it's going to open lower, okay? Lower on these contracts. But let's just say that we open Monday and they're $13. Okay, let's just pretend. Okay. But on the 9th, see, I already told you they're not. They're gonna open up at already minus 16, 17%. $1 lower would open you up at minus 20%. $2 lower would open you up at minus 30%, right? $5 lower, you're already chunking. You're already getting chunked,
Yeah.
right? And how easily does Tesla move $5, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So that's my point. Is when you're swinging these, you're waking up and hoping. You're hoping that Tesla opens up at least 703 so you can break even on your contract. Who wants to break even, right? Why are you going to put that guessing work? So guess what? Why wouldn't I just wait till after the weekend to pick up these contracts at what I call the discount price? So over the weekend, these contracts have eaten up data. So that's why you wouldn't swing over the weekend and you would just wait till Monday, whoever was asking that question, to pick them up again, right? Because now instead of eating that loss, you're going to be picking them up for discount. So now we would be watching, hey, there's a nice level here, right? It's set $6.99 right now. I can just take this level down, right? $4 down. At $4 down on Monday on this contract, I'm gonna lose 30%. Okay? But it can go back and test its range, right? Right here, it can go back and test. Okay? Sorry for the weird lines, but at this price, it's a $20 move up. On a $20 move up, okay, on Tesla, on those weekly contracts, from 700 to 720, okay? Please look at what these pay, okay? And when everyone says, dude, I need to learn how to get those 100%ers, 200%ers, this is how you do it. So if it moves up $20 on those Tesla contracts, 720 is going to pay you 85%, 90% on a $20 move on Monday on Tesla. if you and you're buying these at a discount price, right? So that's another 17% off that you got, right? 17, 20% off. You're making 100% on this contract if it moves up $20 on Tesla.
Wow.
So that's how you define your risk reward. Risk 20%, make 100%.
Man.
Is that a 3 to 1? Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can trade. And again, you don't even have to be risking that 30%. Just go on a smaller time frame. I'm looking at the daily right now. Find your levels on the daily, play your daily levels. So now we see, oh shit, what do we see? Hey, this first big move up. Look at that. It's holding.
Right.
Wow, maybe
Right.
I can take some here for a bounce to the VPOC, and that's a $10 move, right?
Mm-hmm.
On that $10 move, okay, 710, okay, you're gonna be making 35%. Dude,
Wow.
people wait months to make
Oh, yeah.
30% on their stock,
Yeah.
where you can make this on a 2 or 3 candle breakout
On a Monday.
on a Monday, right? So this is when you see me boosting out in the chat saying, dude, it's going, it's going. It's because I'm taking this zone and kind of hoping that it doesn't consolidate throughout the week
Yeah,
and just kind
yeah.
of breaks out of the zone. Even if it breaks down, I'm happy because I know I'm not going to be eaten up in that consolidation period,
Exactly.
right?
Yep.
hmm
Wow.
So that's what I'm looking at when I'm trading, like day trading those contracts. It's finding those zones and just playing those zones. Dude, look at that. It's literally marked on the map for you.
I know.
It says,
Easy.
hey, like there's this little spot. Play
Yeah.
that spot. Super low risk. If it breaks down, it's breaking down. If it breaks up, it's breaking up. There's nothing else about it. So just play it. And guess what? When it's going up, please, by God, be moving up your stop with it.
Exactly.
Because then you can size up heavy on a breakout. And if it doesn't work, you're still in the profits if you stop right here. If you stop right here, you'll still be in the profits on your way up to your golden zone.
How are you guys doing?
Excellent.
Who's this? What's up?
Oh no, I'm just the 100 crew. I'm just kind of new to it. Whatever. I mean, I gotta.
Man.
We're just doing a live interview right now. Welcome. You're live on Twitch.
Ah, shit. What's up?
Not much. Do you mind just hopping off for the next little bit when you come back on in a bit?
Yeah. My bad.
No, no worries, bro. No worries. You're good. Welcome.
Nice.
I'm mute myself.
Yeah, just mute. That's fine. All right, cool.
Well done.
If we could, so let's talk a little bit about how you place your stop and position sizing.
Yeah, so placing that stop. So on contracts, okay, specifically contracts, where I like placing my stop, like maybe 5%, 10% below my buy. So think of it this way. If I'm taking my buy, let's say my contract was worth 50 cents. Let's say I want my total risk to be on this specific contract. Let's say 10 contracts. Okay, 10 contracts equals $100, right? Now, I'm not going to be going and getting all 10 contracts at once. Okay? I'm not going to be doing that. Why? Because if it goes down, I'm going to need firepower to pick up more contracts, right?
Yeah.
Now, if you take your starter and it goes up, you can add on your breakout, okay, and move up your stop. And now you're just going to be in the profits and you have zero risk, let's say, right? Because you're playing on profits. But if it goes down, okay, let's say it breaks out of the zone. Let's say you bought 5 contracts in the zone. It breaks down and you're buying contracts, you're buying contracts. Now you're just hoping for a bounce. You don't want to hope for a bounce. If it breaks out of your zone, don't be throwing like fuel on the fire,
Yeah.
right? Respect your stop and just get out. Instead of buying another 50 contracts, say to yourself, hey, instead of losing that extra money, I'll take a 2 contract loss here instead of a 10 contract loss here,
Gotcha.
right? So again, that position sizing, it all depends on what your risk is. For example, if you're risking $100 on a 10-point stop, someone's going to be risking $2,000 and taking that same stop. It's all relative, it's all scalable. Keep your risk the same every time, and you're gonna let like your technical stop decide how many shares or contracts you're trading, right? So the rule of thumb is divide risk by range of the stop, okay, like the technical range, to get your correct position sizing. So for options, you can use that delta per contract, okay, in combination with your technical stops to decide your position size. And what I mean by that is your technical stop is right here, right? So if I'm zooming closer, you can take your first contract here. If you want 10 contracts, you take 2 contracts here at 700 or at 699. Okay, it goes down another 20 cents. I'll pick up another few more. Goes down here, I'll take a few more. Now guess what? At this point, you're at like 8 contracts. If you don't get full size 10 contracts, that's fine, because if it gets out of this zone, you're gonna be writing 8 contracts up instead of your 2 contracts up from here. If it goes 2 contracts up from here, guess what? You just add on the breakout and just ride it up, right? And you'll be playing with profit. But if it gets out of the zone, instead of now adding to your 10 contract size, guess what? You cut your 10 contracts because you know that's your full risk. At 10 contracts, I've now risked $100,
Right.
right? And if it goes below that, just get me out. Don't make it $200. Don't make it $300. Just get me out, and I'll look for another zone. Maybe it comes back down to this zone, and I'll take it again.
Yep.
Now I have a gap fill up. But clearly, in this range, there's no volume. There's no one there. No one's gonna buy the zone. It's all
Right.
empty,
Yeah.
right? So know your zone, respect it. The only reason I like this zone is because it's a bounce off a prior zone. The breakout zone, it came down to here, couldn't even get there, came down to here, tested it, got out. Now it's testing it again. I'm taking it on the test for a breakout. Again, this isn't for an intraday play. I'm looking at the 10-minute chart right now. I'm only saying, hey, if I'm trading this, how would I get in, and risk the least? And in this zone is a perfect spot to take your risk, because we see that every time it comes here, it does something. Either rejects it, either breaks out from it, or it either bounces off of it. So now from here, I'm just looking for a small bounce from 700 or 699 just to the 710 zone. And a $10 move, okay, in one day, right, on the 9th, is going to pay us, 30%. Plus the percent discount if we're buying it from like 697, plus that 20% from there, that's a 60% move. So that's more than enough to make your whole week if you take that one trade.
Yeah. Easy.
But again, when you're learning this, you don't want to be sizing up heavy here, because you don't know what the fuck you're doing. You don't know if it's going to break down. You don't know how your stop's going to work. Practice. Instead of taking 10 contracts, take 1 contract. See how it
100%.
plays out. See how it works. And then over time, build your conviction. Now, instead of taking 1 contract, you'll be taking 10 contracts, or 100 contracts, or 1,000 contracts.
Up your position size.
Again, it's just confidence and your fixed R, your fixed risk. You can make that fixed risk whatever you want it to be, as long as you keep it consistent.
Do you have a question here from Silent Hell? Again, he's wondering how much is too far out of the money for Tesla contracts on Monday if you're going to take calls. I understand getting the cheaper ones, but need to understand how much is too far out of the money. And I think volume is playing a part there as well.
So again, to know how much, just come here and test it out, right? Say, hey, okay, let's say I'm playing these weekly contracts, right? And I'm gonna come here and take all the way these dead monies, the 2 to 3 cent spread. See, I don't like this spread 1 to 3. I want very tight. See, spready, very tight, spready, spready. But it starts getting tighter here. Starts getting tighter, until you get like only a couple cent spread. See, for these big ones, if you're paying $1,300, what's a $5 spread? But if you're down here, like 1 to 4 cent spread, 1 to 5 cent spread, or actually, excuse me, this is the mid price. Just look at the bid to ask, right?
Right.
So like 1 to 5, 1 to 5,
Yeah.
2 to 4. These are dead, right? 12 to 17. But look right here. This is only a 2 cent spread. So I'd be looking at right here, the 850s, and I'm sure that these whole dollar ones are probably gonna have more volume on them.
Yeah, that's a good
Hence, they're
point.
gonna be more liquid to dump them. Yeah, look right here. The 900s have a 7 to 8 cent, a 1 cent spread, whereas the ones right out of it are 3 to 13 cent spread. So again, these contracts are made to fuck you. Someone that doesn't understand them is just gonna come pick a random strike and lose money on it, right? So I'm looking for that. Yeah, look, the 800 level, 38 to 39, so 1 cent spread. But look right under it, 33 to 49. People don't understand that that spread is gonna be an issue when you're trying to sell or liquidate your contracts, right? So make sure your spreads are tight, and that's why I like Webull. It usually like if I put even the ask price, sometimes it'll just be nice and fill me for a bid price or a
Sweet.
mid price. Yeah, so it that's why I like Webull for options. It always does that stuff. But yeah, here's your question. So how to know if it's too far out? So let's say you take the 800s, right? And you go calculate it. You know, on Monday, if you're swinging these are already dead. You already lost 70% of the position at
Yeah.
open if the stock doesn't move, right? But let's say you're buying these dead contracts, right? Now you can say, hey, if it moves up to 710, our price range, I can make like 40% back on these options, right? Now you're not looking to make the max profit, but you're trying to reduce your loss, right? But
Right,
you're
right.
trying to reduce someone else's loss that already lost the money on this contract, right? But you have to realize for this contract to be a profitable contract, right? It needs that push. If you take this over to the next day, you've already lost. Like you just
Yeah,
goes
easy.
almost
Yeah.
worthless, right?
Mhm.
So that's the point. If I'm taking these further out of the money contracts, make sure to give them some time, right? Go out to these Septembers, Octobers, Decembers. The December 800s are going to be more expensive, yes, right? Like a lot more expensive, right? But I know that if I take this, I'm not going to get hurted if I swing them,
Right.
right? Or you're gonna get hurted.
Oh,
So
wow.
I wouldn't even take these contracts. Again,
Yeah.
these contracts are made to fuck you. That's why you just day trade and make your money and get out. Right?
Interesting.
This
Okay.
this wouldn't even be worth it for a swing because the theta is just gonna eat you. This Tesla would have to move to at least 720 by the end of August
That's
for you to
crazy.
make a percent on these contracts. So this is how you know if you're buying liquid or illiquid contracts. Just come out here and test it out. Options profit calculator. It's great.
Damn, man, what a useful tool.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Um,
Yep.
so we've been going for about an hour and 20. Let's kind of start to wrap things up. If anyone has any questions, throw some questions in the chat. Or if you want, I don't know if you're up for it, Bull Shark, if you want to like chart somebody's tickers or if you want to take a few tickers to look at quickly.
Oh, we can. I mean, I just want to make a last point.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
don't always have to be aggressive or try to make a home run when you're trading in the market. Dude, the market's not going to go anywhere. It's really not. Every day you wake up, there's going to be some type of new setup, some type of new breakout. Every moment in the market is unique. Okay, anything can happen. Don't try to time anything. Just see it and react. Okay? The consistency you seek is in your mind, not the market. There's
Gotcha.
going to be chop days, there's going to be sideways days, there's going to be up days, down days, and then there are going to be trend days. Okay, trend days are the days that you want to make the most money.
Yeah,
If you
yeah.
can make money on a day that's sad, then on a day that's good, you should be making the most money. Why? Because you can catch the trend, you can make the big moves up, right? Chop days are just low range, they go sideways, they don't really do much. Track the SPY, track the QQQ, know what's going on, see the broader range, where's the market going today, what's it doing, is there good news, is there bad news, and just see sentiment, you know? Just always know what the daily, monthly, yearly sentiment is that you're in. Just kind of write it out. It's all psychological. It's fear and greed.
Yeah,
Buy when there's high fear, sell when there's high greed.
exactly.
And you can scale that out on a smaller time scale or a bigger time scale. But yep.
Derpy Dip was wondering if we could look at OCGN once more,
Sure.
the demand zones. Now that it is up a lot, he wants to know where the next demand zone is on it.
Yeah, so we can check that out. So let's just look at the 1 hour first, small time scale. So if I would be taking it for a swing, okay, that's one spot where I'm gonna be looking at. So every time that there's a big move up, you see 1, 2, 3, big breakdown, a test, rejection, and a breakout. So now, and a retest right here. So now I'm gonna be watching this next zone, right? 780s, 777 to 760s. It's like a nice zone to watch for this. Below this, okay, there's another zone. Now you want to look at the bottom of that zone, right? So again, similar, right? You have your tests, your breakdowns, your breakouts, right? So I'm going to be watching this spot 1, this spot 2. This is where I'll be taking kind of heavier loads. And then again, your best spot is the spot where we came from originally.
Right.
Right?
650s.
If you can wait, if you can be patient, I guarantee you at some time, some way, whether it's now or in a month or in a year, it'll come back down to this zone.
Yeah.
It will. Because there's orders that have been placed here. Okay, you can see the biggest spot right now is in this zone, right? The 740s. There's super high volume in the 740s that people want to buy. So even if it comes here for a sec, it'll probably come here to pick people up. But again, on a bigger range, right? On my daily range, I'm really looking for this breakout, right? So I see a lot of volume at the 860s. So again, if you're not in this, just look for the best spot. Right now, it seems like the best spot that they're playing, okay, it's a little lower than this, maybe right within the zone.
Gotcha.
Again, but just be tight with your stop, If you're taking it for a day trade, play the smaller zones. If you're taking it for a swing, load up heavy in those bigger zones. And if you want this like for a longer time,
Mhm.
your best fills are gonna just look, keep looking left and find the new zone. So see, that's one zone, that's another zone, breakout. Watch these breakdowns. If I extend this, it's gonna come into that breakdown zone, right? So always just watch these zones and see where can I get in and define my risk. So right now it's in between. It's not somewhere you want to be picking up or letting go. Again, unless you're looking long term and say, hey, I can take it right now and just keep dollar cost averaging down until it gets here.
Yep.
Right? You can do that, no problem. But really, you want it to form like a higher low before you would take it for a long, and
Gotcha.
not just be buying on the breakout, right? This week it broke out. Either wait for it to pull back or wait for it to finish breaking out and then retest. Then you can buy that retest, right? And define your zone. But when it's ripping and you don't have a position, just watch something else. Don't feel the FOMO. It's not worth it.
Exactly.
Yep.
That's awesome, man. Does anyone else have any more questions to take or any tickers you want to look at quickly? If not, do you want to look at my ticker really quickly? I really like Snow.
Yeah, I like Snow.
SNOW. That's like my favorite ticker. They call me the Snowman now, so I'd love for you to
I
go
was
over that.
watching this for you.
Were you?
I was
Thank
watching
you.
this for you.
Thank you. I appreciate
Yeah.
it.
I even remember sending this to you actually.
Yeah.
In the chart.
I
somewhere.
love
So
Snow, dude.
I was watching this zone. When was it? Yeah, I think this weekend we were looking at it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So right here, June 30. June 30, I was July 27 came and tested this trend line.
Mhm.
Okay, and then if you can see this, right? Look right here.
The chart is so sexy. I love this chart.
It's so perfectly defined
I
within
know.
zone.
It's so predictable, man.
So again, this is one of those stocks that, like I said, if you trade every day, you're gonna start learning what this stock's gonna do.
Yeah.
And what it looks like to me, okay, on the daily chart at least, it looks like it had a nice pattern. It broke out of its demand,
Mhm.
went and hit the supply. Look, spent almost no time in the supply.
Yep.
Said, hey, you know what? Let's go back and test this trend line. You know, look, now it's right on top of that ascending triangle, holding its trend line perfect. If you're taking this for a swing, you can probably just keep riding the trend line all the way up. But if you break the trend line, watch and refill in your zone for a bounce.
Gotcha.
Right?
Yeah.
So now, right now, on the daily, it's in that zone of retailers get fucked. For a swing, of course, you can day trade this no problem. But for swinging, if you're buying or selling in here, you're getting trapped.
Mm-hmm.
You really want to be selling either in here or buying in here.
Gotcha.
But if you're buying in here,
You're higher risk, right?
you're higher risk.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
I hear you.
But if you're day trading this, right? So if we go to like, just the 15 minute, on the 15 minute, it's gonna tell us a whole nother story. So this is that trend line that we had drawn out, right?
Beautiful.
And if you can see, so check it out. It had the gap up. We're just gonna use that gap up. Oh, it had a similar gap up right here too. It had a gap up and a nice zone. So, dude, when I was saying that plus or minus few percent, you have to give it. 'Cause look how many times it faked out that zone.
I know.
Okay, if it loves doing that apparently.
I think it got
So
me in
check
there
it out.
too.
Yeah, if if it bounces, so look, check it out, bounce. Now you want to see there's a gap fill on both sides. Right now it's holding the highest volume zone,
Yep.
right, for trading. Now I would be literally just sitting here and watching this zone, okay? I'd be sitting here and watching this zone and say, okay, well, it has a nice range that it's gonna play, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right now it's at the top of the range. So this, if you're playing options, you can take a spread. You can take calls and puts, right? Now, if it breaks out of this zone, you can close your calls, take a small 5 to 10% loss on your calls, I mean on your puts, right? And your calls are gonna pay. Your calls are gonna pay on a gap up to here,
Right.
Now, if it rejects this, like it's done previously,
Yep.
twice, what it looks like, then you close your calls and your puts will print,
Gotcha.
right? And that's what's called a spread. So if you're playing any type of vertical spread, butterfly, whatever type of option strategy you like, this is like one of those spots where you can take them and you're kind of in the middle of those two zones and you can see whichever side is going to run to. Hey, you know what? I'll run that and play it for the gap up,
Mm-hmm.
or I'll just close out my calls and just run the puts back down.
Gotcha.
Again, this is for day trading. This is for the 15 minute, right?
Right.
So this
right.
wouldn't be for a swing. This would be in the morning. Hey, you know what? I'm gonna wake up and watch this zone. Whichever side it breaks out to, I'll just buy that.
Yeah.
You know, or I can, if this is the only stock I trade, preemptive. I can take the calls and the puts, wait for the breakout, and see which way it goes, and just close out the other one.
So is there a way to tell if a supply or demand area is changing from that demand or supply to the opposite? Like if there's a lot of consolidation in a supply zone, for example, is that showing a shift?
I mean, so think of it this way: for a bigger move up, you want your old supply zone to become a new demand zone,
Right.
right? So, for example, okay, in this specific scenario, right? So we're watching the 15-minute on snow. Realistically, to get a bigger move up, I want this zone to become the new demand,
Mm-hmm.
and I want this zone up here, to be my new supply,
Yeah, exactly.
right? So that's what I was saying is you want this to break out, right? And again, there's two types of ways you can play this position. If you're bullish, okay, I'm always bullish.
Mm-hmm.
So if it goes up, okay, you can either A, play the breakout and scale out over here, or if you're not sure, wait for it to break out, come back and test, because you know it's going to come back and test just like it did here.
Yeah.
Break out, come back and test,
Yeah, exactly.
then it breaks out, right? So you kind of want this to become the new range. You want it
Gotcha.
to break out, come test, now you can take your position with heavier size and higher confidence at this zone. And guess what? You can use this as your stop, because you know if it goes down, then this didn't become your demand, right? Then you would be playing this bigger range,
Okay.
right? But you know that if it breaks out, comes here, you take heavy position and it bounces, now you've made money. Now you know that this is your new demand zone, right? And that's what we would call the fresh zone. But for now, this isn't the fresh zone, right? This is that middle zone. It's just that VPOC, VWAP area where there's a lot of buying power, a lot of pressure here. It's like a wall, right? Now you want to see if it's going to break the wall and go up, or reject the wall and go down, right? Now you're either watching here for a breakout to play the breakout, or if you want to be safer, like more methodical about it, you would wait for it to break out, do its thing, come back and test, and take that retest area as your entry with heavier size.
Gotcha.
Right? Not just taking full size here and hoping for a breakout.
Right.
And if it goes down, you lose a lot.
This higher
right?
risk. Yeah.
Obviously, it's not as much.
Think
To
you're
put
okay.
$10,000 instead of $100, right? If I'm playing this breakout, putting 10K on the play here would be scary, because I don't know if it can go there. I just don't know.
Right.
But if it breaks out of here, it comes back down to test. I know that it's been there, right? I know that, hey, it can come here. So I can put that 10K on the plate here, and risk 10% or $1,000, or even less, like if I play 5%, right? That's only $1 move.
Gotcha.
Whereas I'm looking for like a $5 or $6 or $7 move up, right?
Yep.
So that's where my risk reward becomes super defined. I know it got up there, came back down to test. Now I can take this retest and hope for a bounce and cut it if it fails.
Gotcha.
So that's the difference between sizing up on conviction or just playing the breakout. Because you can take this position and just play the breakout, but obviously over here you want to be taking smaller size just in case it can't break out.
Gotcha. That makes perfect sense. Do you have a question here from Aaron as well? Last night she was educating a friend and using NOC as an example. She said after looking at the chart, she wants to pick up calls soon on NOC. Would you be able to look and see if she's correct? Looking at simply support, resistance, and the triangle.
NOC?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's the similar situation. This
Right.
zone is in the zone that I like playing.
Yeah.
I mean, if you see this, oh sorry, my bad. Let's just go to the daily. Let's see what's up. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have a zone. This is floating, and this is what I
Right.
call the floating zone.
Okay.
Right? like, look at this empty space. These are all unfilled orders. If I'm gonna take this for a swing, I want it down here.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
I see
Or
it.
at the minimum, like somewhere in this zone.
Gotcha.
Maybe a little smaller, but like somewhere more defined than in space, right?
Right,
And if you can
right.
see right here, right? Here, let me delete this one. I mean, just look right here. So there was a high volume bar right there,
Mm-hmm.
right? And what did it do?
Pushed it down.
Just price action. It was consolidating that zone and said, okay, break down out of that zone. Okay, move up. Like, you can take that move up as your risk factor,
Right.
plus or minus a few percent. Bounced off that, came back into that zone that it was consolidating and said, no, I don't want to spend any time there. Let's just go
Right.
back down, So again, you can maybe take this zone as a bounce, or this zone as a bounce, or maybe even just look at your fibs, and say, oh, look, perfect. Bouncing off the fib, broke down from the fib, bouncing off the fib now. Just make sure you're bouncing off something and not floating. If you see right now, the price is just floating. It's floating in midair. So there's no defined risk reward for this type of play, right? Just
Gotcha.
wait for it. Be patient, especially these weekly contracts. If you're swinging weekly contracts, don't do it. Don't do it.
There you
Just
go.
don't. Don't swing the weekly contracts. Why would you swing them when you can get in, make your money, get out? Swing the longer term ones, or just swing commons, and don't have to worry about the theta and the volatility eating you up, right? Yeah, just big range on this chart.
Gotcha.
I don't know. I
That's a
It's
tricky
just
one.
not my type of play.
Yeah, I
I'll just
hear
put it
ya.
that way. Like, why would I take this up here, you know, when I can take this down here? Do you see what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, look at the type of definity that this has compared to the other one. This is in a zone that I would load up, no problem.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
finally getting some heat.
And
Maybe
makes
come
perfect
back
sense.
up.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Or even like this is another one I was watching, Archon.
Archon.
Yeah, so Archon is one of those that just got hurted.
Yep.
Okay, I'm not sure what happened here.
So we're
It
looking for
was some
bottom
type
now.
of news. Yeah, so now I'm looking for a dead cat bounce. I'm just taking this consolidation zone, where a previous supply, it looks like it's now a new demand, right?
Yeah.
Like right before that breakout, a spot where it came back down, came back down. Now it looks like he wants to hold that, you know? So for me, this is nice defined risk because if it breaks down out of the zone, right? If I bought this at 338, I'm stopping out at $3, psychological level. If it goes below that, it's probably gonna come a little bit lower. But even so, you can risk like $1, okay, and just keep averaging down to that dollar and then get out, right?
Right.
But there's some type of definity, I want this from $3 just to 430, dollar move up. If you take a dollar move up and put a 10-cent stop,
Yeah.
your risk is now a 3-to-1,
Is
more
there
than a 3-to-1.
is there contracts on this one? Archon?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I just have commons on this for now.
Because I remember they
Yeah.
came out with news, and the news was like they sold a pump to China or something, and I was like,
Yeah,
why is that bad
so
news?
it was something like that.
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah. This is another one.
RMO, I think you're
one
looking
second.
at.
Yeah, I was looking at RMO for a while. I mean, a lot of these are in those same type of ranges. So these
Yeah.
are the type of plays where
Those are
I
your
can take
plays.
those long-term contracts and not stress out too much.
Gotcha.
Close, same thing.
I did have a question as well.
And here there was one that I really liked, and they herded the stock. It was BCTX, dude. They've been playing
Yeah.
games with this stock for quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm in BCTX, and it looks like they're just messing with the stock. So it looks like there's a lot of buying power on this. I'm in some at this. Okay, I have some from the lows, like I have some from here, but I took a new position. I think it was on Friday, Thursday, somewhere
Mhm.
around here. Yeah, this down candle, because this is what I saw. There's this zone right here,
Right.
and I thought it was gonna go test the zone and come back up just because they've been playing with it,
Mm-hmm.
but it didn't even come back to the zone. So I have my original position from here. So this is like my core, I
Right.
would say,
Right.
right? And on my ads, okay, I wasn't adding heavy. I was just adding light right here, and I was gonna use this as like my quote unquote stop for my ads, and just add heavy in this zone for a bounce. But it never really even made it into that zone until it bounced out, right?
Gotcha.
So that's just the type of plays I like playing. I'm on CMMB as well. This is another long term for me. Just look at these daily ranges,
Crazy.
and they come back into the zone.
Yep.
Why would I risk heavy buying up here or buying
course.
here or even buying here, where I can just wait for them to do its thing, come down, consolidate, buy them, and take them for long-term swings
Yeah.
with lower risk?
100%. That's crazy, man. No, good stuff. I mean, if we don't have any more questions, I guess on NOC, Aaron was talking about. She didn't mean like yesterday. She looked at the 3 month, 1 month, made my chart, and looks like it's going to go down and then bounce out on NOC.
Yeah, again, I would watch for these zones. Be
Yeah.
careful.
Yeah, I like it down to the 300 range there.
Yeah, 300 range looks nice. Again, this 330s.
Yeah,
330s
you could
this
take that
don't
with
look
risk.
bad. Yep.
Okay.
So just find the zone. Don't buy floating stuff. Like
Yeah, I hear
it's
you.
gonna come down. It'll come down.
Mm-hmm.
Everything comes back down. And goes up and comes down and goes up.
Welcome to the market.
Yep. So yeah, when a resistance acts as a magnet, that means price is usually moving up on every dip. It means
Right.
that breakout's coming, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's just like an important concept for breakout. So the resistance acts as a magnet. When you see consolidation right under that resistance, it's gonna break out, right? So that's what we're looking at. I forgot what stock it was. I think it was your stock. Yeah, it was Snow.
With Snow, my baby.
Yeah, this is what I was looking at. So it had the trend line.
Yeah,
It had the consolidation under that. That's where the breakout comes through.
gotcha.
Yeah, you want consolidation under that resistance.
Yeah.
Holding the trend line, that's where your ascending triangle comes in. Again, we're looking at this risk, higher lows, right? Higher lows. Follow the trend.
Gotcha.
Yup.
All right.
Yeah,
I think that's
great.
great. If I don't think there's any more questions, so I think we'll just wrap things up here. Once again, man, I just want to thank you huge for coming on today. We learned a
course,
ton,
dude.
dude. Like, for real. Like, we haven't even known each other that long, and I feel like I've learned like a lot. So that's cool, man. Thank
Yeah,
you so
dude.
much.
Of course, dude. So yeah, just for everyone out there, create a plan, take notes, review your trades, look at what you want to trade, write those key levels, make your zones, set alerts. Know
Gotcha.
when you're gonna buy, know when you're gonna sell, know what your risk is. That's the best tip of advice I can give to anyone.
Awesome. Yeah. And if you could give some advice to someone who just keeps losing on trades, someone who's not doing very well, what 2 pieces could you give them real quick?
Stop taking a lot of trades.
Gotcha.
Instead of taking 10, 15 trades, or instead of taking like 10, 15 positions at once, right? Know how many positions you can have on at the same time, what your max risk is going to be for each position, calculate your amount loss per position, per your risk level, and just plan the trade, scale in, know where to take profit, know when to scale out, all that stuff. So, don't go heavy into a position at first. Take small, add a little bit more, breakout pays.
Awesome.
Yeah, just play small until you're comfortable enough to size up. Make your strategy, make sure it's gonna work, and then play it.
100%, man. There's his Twitter up on the screen, guys. If you want to hit him with the follow. Everyone post your diamond brain emotes in the chat. This was a really great session, man. Thank you so much. And it's our first charting
Anytime.
session I've done too, which is very cool.
Glad everyone enjoyed it.
Yeah, that worked out really nice. We went overtime, but I think we all enjoyed it. So thank you so much once again.
Of course.
All right, bro.
Hope everyone enjoyed.
Absolutely. We will see you in the next one. Thank you so much for joining me,
Yep.
Bull Shark.
Anytime.
Yeah, have a great
Thanks,
Saturday,
everyone.
man.
Thanks for coming out.
Make
Thanks
sure
for having me, 100.
Crack a cold one tonight for me.
Yes, sir.
All right, later.
All right, take it easy.
Let me just hop out of Stream Voice there. Traders, how was that today? How was that, traders? Dang, all right. That was awesome, dude. Thank you so much for Bull Shark for coming out today. Oh, my God. I did not mean to blast the music. Damn, that was a lot louder for me, I think. I just blew out my eardrums. Sweet. Here's his Twitter, guys. Dr. Bull Shark. Out on Twitter. Follow him. Hit him up. Alrighty. He's one person you want to keep in your pocket. And if you have any more questions about supply and demand and all that stuff, absolutely hit him up. He's very friendly in the Discord chat and the DM, stuff like that. Huge ups for everyone that came out. Thank you, Dr. Bull Shark. Let's go. Thank you guys for joining me today and Mr. Bull Shark. This video will be available after the end of the stream. Alrighty, under videos, and I will tweet it out. Make sure you go back and rewatch. There's a lot of good tidbits in here for you guys to go back and take note of. Alrighty, traders. Shout out to the voice chat crasher. Yeah, hey, yeah, shout out. What's going on, man? How are you? That was funny, dude. That's never happened. This is the first time that's happened. Thank you for the interview at 100 million at Dr. Bullshark. Absolutely. Alrighty, traders. Thank you for joining us today. I'm going to wrap things up. I love every single one of you, and I stream every single day. Alrighty. I'll let you know what we're doing tomorrow. Have a great Saturday, everyone. Be safe. Have fun. 100 out.
What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? This is just for us now.
Are you guys still here? What are you doing in here? The stream's over. 36 of you? What are you guys still doing here? Don't you see the... Look at the screen. It says ending. What do you... What do you want, more? What the heck? Encore? I don't know what you're talking about. Welcome to the ending show. How are you today? Listen to my voice. Look into my eyes. Monday, we bank. Alrighty. Oh yeah, you can bonk the mods now. Check it out in the chat on the TV. Hanging out. What's up, Oski? Candlestick, I got lost. Marley, what's going on? Aaron, what am I missing? The Dark Show has officially started. Lean in, get really close, look into my eyes, listen to my voice, okay? I'm nervous. Don't be nervous. Monday is my first day on margin account over PDT. Yo, let's go, Dowdy Dips. Dang, all right. Face Talk drink. Face Talk sounds like an app. 100K this week? Yes, sir. You know. You know. Drink again. I see no eyes. Do you do hypnotism on the side? No, maybe I should start. 30K, so some cushion there just in case. Nice, dude. Congrats. Yo, we got Nightbot hitting. Is that one of the automatic ones, Colonel? Nightbot hitting with the free sub link? That's dope. Have that run every like 30 minutes. That's sick. I like that. Because it is free. And it does support me. That's sick, dude. Thanks, Colonel. You're the boss. You're the boss. Still working on the timing? Gotcha. All right, traders. Throw a 1 in the chat if you enjoyed today's interview. I'll try to set one up for tomorrow. No promises. I have to be very strict on the streams that I do right now, being under review from Twitch. So if you don't see me on weekends until I get approved for partnership, that's why. So I might not do one tomorrow. We'll see. I get most of my viewers on Monday to Friday doing the live trades. That is so Diamond Brain, right? Thank you for the support. Candlestick. Lots of 1s in the chat. I said this from day 1. Derpy Dip. What, the music? Oh. Welcome to my hypnotherapy session. Buckle up. Listen to the music. Look into my eyes. Don't be scared. Don't be shy. Are you putting the interview up on YouTube? I will try to. I might need Colonel's help with that. I haven't been able to set the automatic one up yet just because I haven't tried it on PC, to be honest. But anyway, traders. Hypnotized. Perfect. Have a great afternoon. Enjoy your Saturday. I'll be at work soon enough. Alrighty. And we'll see you in the next stream. I love and appreciate all of you. And I stream every single day, except for maybe tomorrow. 100 out.